All right. Oh, thank you all so much for more than words can say. Hope these little parties have been able to spark joy for you. They've certainly been the highlight of my year. You know you're breathtaking. I know you're on here because you like to lurk, so you're breathtaking. No, you. Thank you for organizing these. They're really cool. As someone who is a zoologist and an informal educator, I like these. Anyway, all right. All right, everyone here. Let's be grateful the pixies are bound by royal law to leave you lot alone. Can't imagine they'd be all too fond of a whole herd of big feet trampling down their flowers. Keep your steps light if you can help it. Il Mheg is bound by laws, and visitors are no exception. If you want to read along, it's over on the left. I can't make it too big, but I'll do my best to dramatically read. But you can also read it on the side in the yellow, on the bottom left corner. Normally I cover the chat, but since I want everybody to be able to read and listen along, I have it open so you can read. The one who's our host tonight, as always, is Ardbert. Ardbert himself. Whoa, my gosh. Looking at the place, you'd hardly believe it's such a ruthless land. When the flood stopped the seasons, the pixies decided spring was best suited for them. Drape the hills with flowers like a veil, with leafmen as the living headstones of those chosen few who'd survive. Give the shrubs some space. Some of them date back to Vobert, the pixie's favorite frozen in time. Like what's-his-face? I can't remember. What's his name? Arvin? Armin? Andon. I was close. Here, this way. Our first stop isn't far. Okay, beep beep. I'm ready, I'm ready. I unfortunately have the mount map for this area, so I drive really fast. I'm sorry. There's so many people! This has to be the biggest one so far. It can't even properly load everybody in. I'm gonna have to drive real slow. I'm sorry, bears. Oh, there we go. I'm gonna outpace. I'm gonna outpace him every time. Cause I know! Like I said, look at us all! Everyone came out for Il Mheg because it's the best area. Here we go. This is the music. Yay, Rose Bear! Oh, it's the special lightning too. It's not just regular rain. It's special rain. That's a bear. Ooh. He's got a venomous bite, it looks like. Whoop, 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 whoop. Yeah. Be sure to turn off other players in G-pose. Do I have a minion out? I should probably get rid of my minion. Do I have a minion? I don't think I... Oh, because I have a fashion accessory. Okay. Trigger word, but the other one I don't know what C stands for. I can't remember. Parasitism and gore. Don't read descriptions for this one if you're uncomfortable with descriptions. Oh, cordyceps as a concept, which is the fungus that, well, they'll go through it, I'm sure. But if you don't like fungus, I'm sorry. There will be mentions of fungus. We'll start here with this wretched-looking fellow. This is a rose bear, and he's not the only example we'll see here of a critter who's been shaped by the history of this land. Can you guys see him okay? Oh, dang it. was a venomous bite. I'm just waiting for the wall of text that will be coming. There are plenty of beasts out here with companionable relationships with the plants around them. Not a bad way to survive when half the plants are predators. It's good to have friends out here. Bear and Rose are not friends. Does the Rose have little eyeballs? Can I look at just yell? Is there a way to do that? No, I don't think there is. Well, I mean, there probably is. Oh, is it finally daytime? Bless. Chat log settings. Oh. I'll figure it out later. See, in a mountain region like this, bears flock to the place. Before the fall of Vobert, anyway. Plenty of food to be found between all the fruiting shrubs and sheep, and plenty of forested hills to hide in, once the shepherds got fed up. All the time, the response of the Verbertians was those huge, vicious livestock guardian dogs, bred from the wolves to the north, kept the bears at bay and the sheep safe. Maybe there are little eyeballs in the flower. I can't tell. But the dogs, oh, well, touch on that later. All you need to know for now is that no Verbert meant no more guardian dogs. A problem for the pixies, who love those darn sheep-like family. Always have, even before things went end up. So you can imagine how well they handled the bears moving in to eat their unguarded flocks. I will probably not be drawing the rose bear. There are particular critters that I'm hoping to draw a little later, depending on what we go see. Happened enough times that the pixies got mad. Figured they'd teach the bears a lesson, so they created a rose that parasitizes the spines of bears and fed it to them. Pixies. Pixies indeed. Where's Eric Thanios? Someone's role-playing as Athena. Don't get any ideas. Doesn't take much looking to see how little it helped. The rose grows tiny roots all through the brains and nerves of infected bears, with the mass of those roots finding a home in the skull and throat. They'll grow out like this. Ooh, okay. The cautious. There's graphic depictions in what I'm about to read, so be prepared. They'll grow out like this through the eye sockets and mouth, with the bulk of the plant threading through the beast's muscles and coiled like horrible netting around their bones. But that's cordyceps. I don't know if they'll mention the I don't know if they'll mention cordyceps as a concept, but it is an actual fungus that actually does something similar to this. It's very weird. Fungus are strange. See, sunlight does these roses well enough, but they're carnivorous things. What they want is rich, well-fed blood, and a dying bear is only going to feed a rose for so long. It darn near kills the bears. Aye, but not quite. Blinds them, leaves them half mad and senseless. More dangerous than a regular bear by spades. If they don't go into it, then I will be happy to share what cordyceps is. Bears this far along aren't much more than a shell for the rose to hide in, and all those roses want them doing is eating and basking, so bees can pollinate them. It's no pretty sight, these big husks standing rigid and too still, bees crawling across their ragged hides. Intense. Starting off strong. Oh, it's finally stopped raining. Amazing. It's still kind of cloudy. Look at the colors. You can really see the... I really do... Like, those... They do look like just tiny little eyeballs on the roses. At least a few of the normal sort survived. They kept to the mountains, the ones who learned. It's only the young and naive foolish enough to come to the valley. All it takes is finding rose hips on the ground to eat, and the poor soul is good as dead. It is, like, now that the rain's gone, it is very uncanny, like, the colors. Oh, and the floor opens up for questions. I know most of you are currently, like, also there and can also ask your own questions. Oh, there it goes. Not the cruelest of the little tricks the pixies have pulled, but a far sight from the kindest, I'll say. Any questions? All right, so since they didn't necessarily talk about the origin of this fungi that is, like, very similar to what happens. So there is a fungus that what it does is in order to propagate and release its spores, it will physically take over... Ah, Logan is back. Is it tasty, they ask. But it'll physically take over the nervous system of the ant or whatever it clings to. It's mostly ants, like, because it's like the life cycle is through the ant. And cause the ant to go to a high place where it will either be eaten or it can basically allow the fungus to grow and propagate and spore and spread everywhere. But obviously the ant becomes literally just a husk. If you've ever played or seen someone play The Last of Us, that's where that comes from, like the whole fungus idea, and I'm getting that mixed up with Evil Within. But the clickers, whichever game had the clickers. But But yes, so this is based on an actual fungus that actually does this, and rip the poor ants, but it's part of the circle of life. There's another one that's super cool. If we're going to talk about fungus, there's a fungus that what it does is it gets eaten by deer, and it basically exudes, like, it causes the deer, no, it's a moose. It gets eaten, okay, I gotta look it up. But it gets eaten by a moose, and basically what it does is it has a smell or something that makes it more likely for that moose to be eaten, because the fungus can only propagate and complete its life cycle, or the parasite can only complete its life cycle once it goes through the digestive system of a wolf. And so it gives off like specific smells or something so that it gets eaten by a wolf. And it's parasites and fungus, like we think we're really cool because we got lots of cells and brains, but we can't even compare. Anyway, the answer to the eating was yes, you can. I'll answer both questions at once. It wouldn't do the pixies any good to get their sheep infected, so those roses are specialized sorts. They'll only grow in the body of a bear. For better or for worse, you eat one, you're safe. Nice. Don't even have to cook it properly. Let me look it up. Moose parasite. Brain. Moose. Yes, it's a worm. It's a parasite that affects hooved animals. It doesn't affect the deer. Oh, it can affect the nervous system of the deer. Yeah, causing weakness, fearlessness, lack of coordination and movement. Yeah, like impaired vision. Like it basically makes its prey more susceptible to be eaten by wolves and other animals so that it can continue its propagation. Like it's freaky. It's called a meningeal worm. Anyway, fun fact. Ardbert says they taste a lot like bear and dirt. Dirt bear. Let's look at it from a different perspective. I love his hairdo. Yeah, look at those teeth. But yeah, I love that the little roses look like they have eyeballs. Intense. Anybody in the chat have some questions? I'm trying to think of some questions. I know, it is very creepy to look at. I was trying to think, like, I want to ask, like, how long does the process usually take? The roses are just roses once. Pretty popular out here in the gardens of the will-to-do. I can only imagine it was a pixie attempt at revenge using a flower beloved by the people here to protect their flocks. The parasitism is taken from mushrooms with a little pneumo help. Pneumo? Which I think is the fuzzy, long-tailed critters. If I'm not mistaken. It'll be fun to get the... I was just thinking, like, if they're gonna go back and do a lot of the other critters that were still in Shadowbringers. I forgot what the Eorzean Encyclopedia 3 goes over, but that'll be some fun lore too. Fun little tidbits. Excuse me. There's so many people that are doing the white noise chatty thing. Just seeing Ardbird get pummeled. I still remember last time, I think it was the one that was based off the dragon. Just like bounce and push him backwards. A dead bear will become a twisted up sort of thing. Flesh decays, leaving the plant growing in knots around the bones left behind. They'll grow up in a grand bush for a time, spreading what rose hips they can, but the bones aren't long for the world. Too weak from the roots, doesn't take long before there's nothing left. Interesting. But yes, that's exactly what the fungus does. It makes them go to a place where the spores can spread, and then the spores go poof. Speaking of fungus, there's another type of fungus that's called chytrid. So the chytrid fungus, what it does is it's something kind of similar, but it affects bats and frogs. And what it does is it basically like gets on its system and covers up its sinuses, and it makes it really uncomfortable for those animals. And so normally when they would be hibernating, during the winter or other moments, like other times of the year, it causes them to, like, they can't hibernate, they can't sleep because they can't breathe, and they have to go get food, and they end up unfortunately dying from it. So that being said, if you spelunk or if you go in other areas, please wash your boots. You know, don't spread that fungus everywhere, especially in caves or ponds or places with like really sensitive areas with animals, like, and lots of amphibians live, because it can really negatively affect that environment. Always follow the leave no trace mentality. All right, still good to keep an eye on your feet out here. There are plenty of little hills of flowers out there, and many enough you'll find built up on the little piles of bones. So this same thing, that's, I was just saying, be careful where you track all of that fungus that you got on your shoes. But yeah, it's also, the chytrid is also known as a white nose syndrome. And the white nose is what's causing the decline in the bats. Fungus have one job, and that is to make more fungus. That's all they care about. Ooh, I want to know about that bite. I've dyslexia, stop. I said, occasionally it seems to have a toxic bite. Any idea what the venom does? Because I don't remember them talking about venom. At least not off the top of my head. Oh, this is more of like how long it takes. The process takes a few weeks for the roots to get wrapped around bone. 7 or 8, I'd say, and they start clogging the throat and eyes. Half a year or more to get the state like this. Oh, interesting. So, I guess people are asking questions that I can't see. There's just so many. Because I didn't see those other questions being asked. Bears, where are you? Over there. Watching the bear. We should be, after this question, the toxin is nothing special to the flower, less flattering than that, I'd say. The beast is a mess of torn muscle. It's mostly bile and too much rot in their mouth. Oh, okay. Interesting. So 'tis just, he do not brush his teeth. No toxin. Like a Komodo dragon. Komodo dragons also have a lot of... Two minutes. Komodo dragons also have a lot of bacteria in their saliva from eating rotten things. Oh, someone asked a good question. So did it work protecting the sheep like this? I mean... That's a good point. Did it actually do what they wanted to do? Because it still seems like they might eat sheep. Not in the least. Yeah, I was like, the bears just got worse and now the pixies are barely able to handle them. At least a smart bear you can scare away. Way to go, pixies. I like that. You reap what you sow because they're plants. I get that. I get it. Alright, if it's all the same to you, lad, I'd like to get moving and stop staring into this unfortunate fellow's empty eyes. We'll head north next. It's a bit of a trek. Alright, you ready, bears? Hop on the wagon. Wherever it went, there it is. Vroom. He's just running. Alright, I'm excited to see what we're gonna see next. There are Teak is always Lupus is always very kind and draws some of the critters that we're gonna be drawing like on the advertisement. So I wonder if it will be one of those next, because the bear we've seen now. That was one of the ones on the poster. So many people. We're just staying on the road. Oh, if it's one of the butterfly things, I will oh, I mean, if it's one of those guys, the moss, I definitely will draw one of those. I love them. Draw a pretty deadly giant butterfly. Yeah, I feel like this is definitely the biggest art party so far. Oh, is it these guys? I hated these guys. I did so many fates in this area so that I could get the minion, I think it was. There was a minion here. And I fought so many of these stupid dragonflies. Oh, the bee? I don't like bees. I'm not gonna draw the bee. I'm not gonna draw the bee. I will not be drawing the bee. I don't like bees. I appreciate what they do for us, but I appreciate them from over there, and I'll be over here. Oh, there's some toxin. Honestly, this... Oh. Lunatender booty. Honestly, this one might be one where I draw the environment. Here we are. Watch yourselves around this one. These devils have a bad sting and a worse temper. This is a killer bee. Stares hungrily. There are two kinds of people. One kind of people pat the bee. The other kind of people want to eat the bee. Yeah, that's honestly what I'm thinking. I'm probably going to be drawing environment because it's so pretty. All right. The name's a bit silly, I'll admit. Renda's told me enough times for me to believe it that the darn things aren't bees, but some sort of overgrown wasp. And for the matter, the beast's no more a killer than anything else that lives up here. A right bit less of a killer than the bears or beavers anyway. Beavers! I hope we get to do a beaver. I guess it is more like a wasp. I mean, they're both Hymenoptera. Hymenoptera are the genus? No. Family of insect that include bees, wasps, ants, anything that's got that snatched waist. That's the best way that I can describe Hymenoptera. They got that snatched waist. There's a difference between, like, there's a pretty notable difference between the thorax and the abdomen. That's the best way to describe Hymenoptera. Frankly, the bees get dealt a bad hand. The bees and other wasps around anyway. Not this guy. Daft name aside, the pixies hate killer bees. And they're well enough fond of, they're well enough founded for it. Never saw much of them in my time. They're new in the area, moved in when the pixies turned Vobert into their eternal spring paradise. Interesting. I wonder if they have they pollinate a particular plant. So many cute outfits. Oh, flower crown. I don't know where my flower crown is. Do I have my headgear visible? I do. I have a little flower in my head. It's hard to see the bee. It's so pink. These devils aren't supposed to be up this high in the mountains. Used to stay down in the lowlands until the winter stopped coming. See, the bees here hate wasps. These big guys don't hunt insects as small as a honeybee, but they'll raid the hives for honey. Wreck the whole thing looking for a quick snack. It's an intense poison. I'm gonna ask if they're solitary. If it's not answered. Did you have a long fall? So the bees figured out a way to fight back. Might have noticed from the way this place drones, but it takes a lot of bees to pollinate a land like this. It's never quiet, not when the sun is out, less than ever when the lights still cover the sky. Those hives are massive things, the size of whole rooms, hundreds of combs, layers deep. The whole thing shimmered with busy bees. And then one day the Fire Nation attacked. The day the killer bees attacked. When a wasp gets close, it's those numbers that would save them. Wasp stingers are too big to do much against a bee, and they can only bite so many. But the bees will smother the things, swarm around them and vibrate their bodies faster than you can see. Makes the air around them so hot they'll cook the wasp on the spot. Ooh, ah. Most impressive. Hasta la vista. Oh my gosh. The puns. Keep them coming. I respect you. Utufer did you? But that was the old wasp. Killer bees wiped those ones out. These guys have fairly useless stingers, but they've got this venom they can spray. Burns the bees up and kills them in droves. Means they get all the free metals, the meals of honey they please, and that gives them an edge. I will ask if they are solitary. So rude, stealing from bees. All that poison. Still, end of the day, can't blame the bees for doing what comes naturally. They're no different than the pixies, but they'll turn you into a shrub for saying it. This land isn't Vaubert's anymore. Times changed, and those who yet lived found safety from these old walls. Pixies, wasps, all just survivors moving into a space left empty. My favorite part of this nature walk so far is getting attacked by a horde of bloodthirsty bees. Exotic butters. Exotic bees. Not the bees! Bees! Meteor Final Fantasy is here. Oh my gosh. Yeah, interesting. Oh, I'm going to ask if they have any natural predators. Anyway, try not to breathe in too much around this angry fellow. Between the pollen and the poison, I doubt your throat would like it. Any questions? I have a question. Someone asked, are they known to attack travelers? And I asked, do they have any enemies themselves? So do they have anything that eats them? Their enemy is me. Okay, I believe you, Mr. Meteor Final Fantasy. Ooh, does it have chitin like a beetle, or is it squishy? Look at that. I like you, Quill. Quill asked a nice biology question. So they were asking if it has a exoskeleton. Do they like jazz? Another important question. Do you like jazz? You know, I will openly say this. Please mock me. I have never seen the Bee Movie. I have never seen the Boo Movie. Oh, hi, Bio. How's it going? Thank you for lurking. If you said hi earlier, I'm sorry that I didn't see it. Yeah, you like jazz, Bio? Just have a permanent jazz band in the north and the beats. Okay. They will I. Not many travelers are welcome enough here to be targets, but those few who make it in are regularly swarmed. They're not the worst to fend off, all things considered. Their stingers are too thick to pierce armor, and the venom is irritating, but hardly deadly. It's mostly the bite, and the intimidation, I suppose. I guess, are those teeth? Do they have teeth? I assumed that they were just like pinchers or something. Nice. Well, thank you for lurking. Have you been to one of the nature walks before, Bio? Like I said, we will not be drawing the bee. I do not wish to draw the bee. There are a lot of insects here, I will say. Like, a lot of the creatures here are insect-based. So I don't know. If I want to draw the big moth thing. It's pretty. I wish to know if they have predators. According to all known laws of aviation, there's no way a bee should be able to fly. How is this one able to fly? Well, it's not a bee, Evelyn. Were you listening? Artbird clearly said that they were wasps. Pixie dust. There you go. You probably got at least some pixie dust on there. Their enemies live only a short walk south, past them on the way. The hawkers are notorious insect hunters and are shockingly fast, agile things. They'll hunt the wasps when they can, and their population was exploding has exploded in turn. I see, I see. Oh, but, oh! A bio is physically here! Well, howdy! Meowdy, as they say. Hello. Oh, God. Controller, there's too many people. Welcome. Were there killer bees in the days of paradise as well? I don't know, but there was definitely the cubus. We love the cubus. Back in the days of the days of paradise, we loved getting beat up by the cubus. Yeah, I hear everyone loved those. Etufer, you and Quill have my respect so far. You said they were wasps, but do they produce anything other than their venom? Killer honey, mayhaps? That's a good one. They're hard-shelled things, more like a beetle to your comparison. Not so hard to break through if you're trying, but enough to keep them safe from an average smack or bite. No one's asked if they taste good yet. I'm really surprised that no one's asked if they taste good. There's so many questions. I'm not gonna ask anymore because they have enough questions going, but... There it is. I expect at least one food-related question per creature. Same. I also do. Okay, but can you eat it? I feel like it wouldn't taste very good, you know? There's not like, so... Oh, bears. So how bugs work. We're gonna have an entomology lesson. Hello and welcome to the entomology portion of tonight's stream. When it comes to insects, typically they have a chitinous layer that is like keratin-esque, that makes up their exoskeleton that surrounds it. But for the better part of most insects, they don't really have organs. There are some invertebrates that do have organ-like areas inside them, like tarantulas, for example, have what are called book lungs, and so they function very similar to like how air sacs do for birds. But most invertebrates, like insects, will have what's called a hemolymph. So they don't necessarily have blood and they don't necessarily have organs, and so that's why when you squish a bug, it's just kind of like, because they're like digestive juices and their blood and everything is just an amalgamation of goo that's inside them, and there's little compartments in their body but not necessarily organs, so that's got a hemolymph, and that's how bugs work. So I wouldn't think it'd be very good because there's not really a lot inside. But however, people have said that tarantulas taste pretty good because they're technically like closer related to decapods, like crabs, and so they taste kind of crab-like. But I wouldn't think other insects, like really what you're eating is the outside more than the inside. So like there's a lot of protein in a lot of bugs, but you'd have to like flavor them up a whole lot. Anyway, we're done with the entomology portion of tonight's stream. How do they fly? They've got wings, haven't they? Ah, well, there are fish that fly. There's a whale that flies. They're better off asking them. But yeah, I wouldn't think they'd be very tasty. You'd have to like season them a lot. It's very funny, like a lot of museums that I've worked at will have like bugs that you can buy in the little boxes, and they're just like they're basically like chips, but they're crickets. And you can like eat scorpion molts, like because the molts are basically what they have inside the lollipops. It's not the whole scorpion. I mean, because scorpions produce venom, but most of the venom that they make isn't really necessarily potent to humans. They're going on about the cubis still. Cubis do look like flans, I will admit. Cubis are the flans of Final Fantasy XIV. Well, welcome to the stream. Crickets, but chips, but crickets. I mean, that's what they are, basically. They'll cover them with, like, species spices and, like, cheese. Not cheese, but, like, dried cheese dust. They're not honey producers, nor a whole much of anything that could be harvested. They got hives, huge ones, taking up whole buildings in the mountains. Suppose you could use the paper from the walls if you want to fight a hive of angry wasps for it. Oh, they make paper? I guess, so real wasps, when they make their hives, I guess, they will chew on wood, and they basically, or like they'll either nest in wood, or they'll chew on materials that make kind of like a woody material, and the hives that they make are basically a combination of like their spit. Basically anything a bug makes is spit. So you like honey, it's spit. You look at termite mounds, it's spit. You like, it's, look at this big hive, it can fit so much spit. But it's really cool that they've adapted to be able to make these things that took us, like, using other materials to do. If it's not spit, it's probably excrement. Bugs are cool, but gross. I'm sorry to shatter your reality. It's really good tasting spit, but it is spit. They take all that nectar and they mix it all up and like put it in little hexagonal compartments, and then over time it becomes honey. Because hexagons are the bestagons, as CP Grayman would say. I know. That's nature. Yeah, that's nature, baby. Nature's gross. But very cool and efficient. Sometimes. Sometimes nature's not very efficient. Where did the bears go? They're just being goofballs over there. We're probably going to be moving on from the bee very soon, which I'm okay with. Oh, are you? Oh, you are! Cute. That probably took a little bit. I would join your trio, but I feel like I would be off. I don't want to use Flourish. Yeah, does it have teeth? Are those teeth? I thought those were. So, more fun entomology facts. A lot of insects will have what are called pedipalps. So they're basically like these little specialized chelicerae, which is another fun word. And chelicerae are like almost like mandibles, but specialized. And so they look like pedipalps is what the killer bee looks like. No, chelicerae are the hairs. It's just the pedipalps that are like the mandibles. Right? Let me look that up. I'm not an entomologist, so I get my insect things messed up. No. Chelicerae. Yes, chelicerae are mouth parts of the subphylum Chelicerata, which are arachnids, horseshoe crabs, and spiders. I was correct. Look at me go. I remember some zoology things. The degree was worth it. What are the hairs then? What are the hairs called? Seems time enough to get moving. The next stop's a fair bit different. All right, I guess we're moving on. Oh no! Oh crap! I took off my wings. Okay, hold on, bears. Did you already leave? Hold on, let me get my tractor. No, get on my sexy tractor. Oh, fine. Oh, there. Okay. Think my tractor's sexy. Brum, brum, brum. That's such an old song. I'm really dating myself. See, I caught up because my mount speed is a lot faster here. One of the few areas that I've actually bought the map for. Brum, brum. Oh, are we gonna, the witchweed? Is it the witchweed? It's not the witchweed. Okay, where are we going? Or maybe it's a different witchweed. I'll have to look up what the hairs are called. Because tarantula have hair on their legs and their back that they can actually flick off as a defense mechanism. More fungus! There is a fungus and a mungus. I don't want to draw the fungus either. Oh, it looks a little... What are the legs? It's like a frog fungus! Oh, its mouth is gross! So much fungus. We're not gonna do a lot of drawing tonight. Fungus and bugs. Yeah, that's all of Il Mheg is just fungus and bugs. Here's our target. A looker, isn't he? This unfortunate looking fellow is a moss fungus. Pollen. Kick. He's like a cricket fungus. I know, it did work on the landscaping. Hairs on tarantula. Urticating hairs. Urticating. That's what they're called. The ones that the tarantulas flick off. Gug 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 gug. Gug 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 gug. Kind of weird mouth thing. Don't like it, don't like it. My tryptophobia is not very happy looking at this thing. I'm gonna not look at it. We're gonna look at Aardbird instead. Look at everybody's cool glams. Moss fungus are a bewildering sort. We've got plenty of walking plants, but mushrooms are a new one. I had the Numao tell me about them. First time I came out here. These fellows live out on and out of mushrooms seemed like the right sort to ask. It's true, they do live in mushrooms. Blech. Yeah, my eyeballs don't like looking at its hat. I will not look at its hat. We will look at Aardbird instead. Walked out of there realizing I hadn't known a darn thing about anything I thought I knew about. Did you know calling fungus a mushroom is like calling an apple tree just an apple? I hadn't. Turns out that the most of the thing is underground in the form of a wide web of tiny roots. A mushroom just exists to spread a few spores, more than anything. Maybe it's more like a flower. Aww. Nagunk. We're here. Cute. There they are. Nagunk. Man, remember bears? You got so lost last time. I'm really glad that no one's dying. How many times did you die last time, bears? At least 3, right? The lack of sneak. 5? Point is, it makes these froggy fellows a little off. Big thing like this doesn't have any roots, but it plays the spore spreading part just fine. I'm sure you've noticed this brute choking the air with them. Try not to breathe them in. The spores do a great deal of good for these sorts, including inflaming the lungs of any predator they don't like. That doesn't sound good. Kick. Why does it have such long back legs? I want to know why it's frog or cricket coated or frog coated. I don't even know. I guess cricket coated. Do it jump? They also eat and hop about, which I'd say sets them apart from your run-of-the-mill toadstool. Even looks like they've got tongues in those big, funny-looking mouths. Ah, but cut one open and you'll see the truth of it. That floppy throat is just a big sack of acid for dissolving whatever unlucky sort of can fit in their jaws. And the rest of the beast is the same spongy substance through and through. So it's like a carnivorous plant, a pitcher plant. Pitcher plants are very similar to that, where they have like the big bowl in the bottom where the acid sits, but they smell really nice and attract insects inside, and then they eat them. Carnivorous plants are also very freaky, but very cool. There's one that's called a corpse flower, and the corpse flower is called corpse because it smells like a corpse, but it attracts flies, and the flies pollinate it. Oh yeah, they're not carnivorous. I think they just pollinate, but they smell real bad. Corpse party? Yes. The funny thing with fungus, cap, stem, tongue, they're all made from the same thing. This funny thin thread packed together so tight it turns thick and solid. Strong as all heck too. There's a reason you'll see mushrooms growing up out of the brick walls and stone. These little threads are so thin you can barely see them. They can fracture rock. Oh, it's getting hurt. What is it getting hurt by? Who's hurting it? Oh, is someone auto-attacking? Yo, 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 yo. There you go. You're trying to heal the fungus? But that's what makes this fellow so unique. They've learned to use that strength to hop and haunt. Got a good kick like an Amaro, too, and their not having eyes doesn't stop these things from finding food. Not even the new Mao can give me much on that. I don't think even they know how a fungus can sense a whole lot of anything. Probably, like, vibrations? A lot of plants will respond to vibrations. Like, the cool thing about that is that plants, there's actually been studies of plants responding to music and will grow differently or grow more effectively depending on the type of music that the plants listen to. So it's probably got something to do with vibrations. But they do know the moss fungus secret. See, they're different from their average fungus, aye, but they're not that different. Watch one long enough and you'll see the things plant their feet and go still. That's when they grow out those little roots and tangle up with the big mess of fungus under the grass. That must be... Underground must look really weird here, no, Meg? No, Tiny Amaro! He is unaffected by the poison. Ah, yeah, mycelium. Who are you, Quill? I think you're a biologist. They're talking about mycelium, which work very similarly, in which they have that big underground network of fungus. Let me look it up. Yes. A root-like structure of a fungus consisting of a mass of branching thread-like hyphae, I think is how that's pronounced. It looks really weird. Like if you were to look at underneath the plant where the fungus is, there's just like this big set of root threads. See, this fellow's more than just a bit familiar looking. Compared to all the other like it around here, they're the same. They're all wandering organs, feeding and scattering the spores of the same gigantic fungal beast underneath your feet, reaching its threads across the whole of the valley. That's a little disconcerting. Just a little. I want to know how high it could jump. Kick. Ah, and the new Mao eat them. Any questions? He knows the drill. He already answered that question. I ask how high they jump. They jump high? They jump high, they kick feet. Ooh, what do they hunt and eat? That is another good question. Because most fungus, they normally are photosynthetic? Or no, because mold, how does mold propagate? I'm trying to remember. Like, I guess they feed off the aether of the cheese. So maybe they don't photosynthesize. I know even less about fungus than I do about bugs. I am not a fungus expert. I am a zoologist, not a biologist. I didn't deal with the plant side of things. I just dealt with the animal side of things. They've got powerful spring-loaded jump. I mentioned the strength of those threads and dense packed as they are. Fungus isn't heavy. So about 3, maybe 4 yalms up and too many across. Just hanging out, minding your business, and the giant fungus goes boing out of the corner. That's higher than I can jump. Ooh, that's another good question. Can they feel or otherwise communicate with each other parts of themselves? I would think so, if they're like a giant hive mind, like a neural network. And also, what does the thing, like, there was a beast underground they mentioned? Or are they calling the threads the beast? Because is there an actual critter? It's so funny. Sorry for an aside, but I got my brother into playing Hades, the game, when I went to visit this past Thanksgiving. And he's been playing nonstop for so many days, and he finally beat Hades. He sent me a picture of his his loadout, what he had. He's so excited. Let's see, I missed what Ardbird said. I was assiding. They tend to eat any small sort of beasts, rodents, and birds they can catch. Insects that fly into their mouths. The liquid in the mouths is stinking and sweet. Hey, we talked about that. It attracts all sorts of scavengers who don't know any better. That's what pitcher plants do. I was correct. It's not limited to meat, wood, pulp, plants, rotting fruit, anything they can scoop into their mouths. They are a decomposer, as it were. If you want a fancy word you can impress your friends with, detritivores. There you go. Detritivores are animals that eat like decomposing matter, and they help to continue to decompose it. So good examples are like beetles and worms and millipedes. Those are all detritivores. Because the material that is decomposing is called detritus, another very fun word. So they eat detritus, so detritivores. You can go up to someone at a party and be like, hey, you look very detritus this evening. There's pickup lines by Fox. There's a reason that I'm single. They don't do much understanding of each other during the day, seem pretty much to leave each other to their own hunting, and aren't much capable of working together. They're not thinking beasts, just instinctual ones. But overnight, that all changes. Once they sink in their roots, it seems like whatever they've learned from the day gets picked up by the rest of them. Interesting. Do they migrate when they sense danger? Ooh. Quill has many good questions. I know a fellow zoobiologist when I see one. Yeah, I'm sorry I haven't been drawing a whole lot, but many of these have not been ones that I want to draw, so... probably during the next one, we shall see if anyone has drawn some cool things in the tag. Because it's been about an hour. Oh, you found Meteor Final Fantasy? Grahatia's here. Ah, there he is. There's Meteor Final Fantasy in the flesh. And there's Graha? Where's Graha? I don't see him. Oh, there's Graha. Crystal Graha. Alright, we'll probably be moving on pretty soon. Smack. Uh-oh. Don't start auto-attacking. Okay. They will. A bit late, but if a few of the moss fungus survive, they'll give that information up to the greater fungal mass. The next day, the whole population will have cleared out without a sound. Makes for unnerving mornings waking up to find the hills empty. I would bet. Just imagining, like, waking up in the middle of the night and just hearing, like, this skittering of little frog feet. I'll look out the window and just seeing, like, tons of little fungus things running around. No, thank you. They're like, what were those things called? The ones you're not supposed to feed at night. Not gremlins. What were they called? I never watched that movie either. No, there was like a really old movie. They are gremlins. Oh, it was gremlins. I was right. You don't feed the gremlins after night. Oh, hey. Someone got resurrected. Eric Bennies. Eric, my son. I like the people just sitting in the sofas over there. Yeah, I think when we get to the question portion of the next one, we'll look through the tag for a little bit. As for how they taste, I know I heard questions about it before. They're meaty. The Numau use them for sausage and just about every other meal of the day. Not a bad meal if you don't mind the vague taste of dirt. I don't mind the vague taste of dirt. But yeah, I would think so. If they're a moss slash fungus, or not moss, if they're a fungus critter, a lot of times fungus, like mushrooms, are used as a meat replacement. So I would think. Ooh, here we go. Oh, there we go. Now I don't have to... This is great. I wish I had done this before. But now I can't see the questions is the thing. I was like, now I don't have to see all the effects that people are doing. Any other questions, or can we move on? Who's driving Meteor around? Who is that? Oh. I'm ready to move off from this guy. Smack. I do wonder what we'll see next. Okay, who thinks that it's gonna be a bug? Who thinks that it's gonna be another fungus? Place your bets. My bet's on bug. It's been like, so far it's been a frog. Ooh, frog is good. Yeah, I don't want any more fungus. I can only talk about fungus for so long. I'm really surprised that no one's made an Among Us joke. We've distracted this beast from its fellows for long enough, I'd say. Let's get going. Our next stop's not far, and there's a fine view to see. Ooh, ah. Bears, where are you? Oh, they're there. I'm right here. Okay. Brum, brum, brum. Oh man. Oh, is it this thing? No, it's a I would love if it's this thing, but it's not. I would draw the heck out of that. But it can't be because it's a special hunt, so it probably wouldn't be it. A frog would be fun though. If it's a frog, I'll draw it. Oh, is it the bird? I will draw the bird. Is it the bird? No, it's not the bird. Is it the tree man? I don't want the tree man. The werewood. I hope it's the bird. Ooh. Oh, if it's the dragon thing, bet. Oh, fate. I do love those dragon things. Oh, the Croatia? Oh, there's not a lot of room. Oh, there's not a lot of room. I mean, it's kind of fun. I like its face. I will draw a chibi version of this thing. It's got a cute face. Here we are, a beautiful view of Groon's Licht. Aye, oh, and this unruly fellow. This is a garden crocodile? Crocodile? I mean, it's cute. I like his little claws. He got big teethsies. It does have glowies. Yeah, I hope we do that dragon. I love it. Oh, people are doing the fate. Yeah, save the Amaro. Good job, everybody. Oh, he is very glowy. I will draw a cute version of him, like a cuter version. They're vicious, brutal beasts, more so than the average light-addled animal that doesn't know any better than to be driven to a craze. These ones are nasty by design, and the darn things are smarter than they have the right to be. Go for the neck most of the time. Deadly things that kill more than they can eat and keep killing. Ooh, fun. Crocoda. Like the wolf noises. Merely a flesh wound. I better look at its face. Oh, dang it. I like its ears. I think that's my favorite part of the ears. They're long and blue-tipped like mine. Black and blue is always a solid color combination. The good thing about them is that they're not pack hunters. Isolated sorts and not like to get along with one another. The bad is that they're drawn inevitably here, to the Valley of Vobert's grave. The only reason you don't see them roaming further south to prey on sheep is the pixies. They've spun wards thick as the sorcerer's tomes to keep them far to the north. Plus, they'd have to deal with the rose bears. Yeah, I like their little tails. I'm gonna ask if they come in different colors. RGB. RGB Crocoda. I want a purple one. There's a room in any land for a creature that lives off bloodshed. I made much of my living doing well enough the same. A doe is no more deserving of kindness and life than a wolf. But I don't speak kindly of these. No, I do it for a reason. Uh-oh. He's got beef. He's got beef with these things. What'd they do to you, Artbird? I'm just hearing the little... Someone's in the floaty jellyfish thing. I can hear it beside me. Same reason as the pixies have, really, keeping these beasts far away, aye, but not punishing them like what happened with the bears. Stuck in some endless game of keep away, but never going so far as to lift a finger to hurt their pitch hides. Why? The poor bears got, like, mushroom controlled. I mentioned them before, Vorbert's beloved protectors. The guardian dogs bred from mountain wolves and as devoted as they were proud. Used to be. You couldn't walk a mall without passing a few. These rich dots of red among drifting clouds of white. A drop of blood in Vorbert's snow. Crocodas, they're a kind of finery those well-to-do used to wear to balls, always dyed this brilliant saffron red. Interesting. So this is what the flood did to them? The livestock dogs were named after these. Oh, based on the color of their hides. Handsome ginger red, taken right from the mountain's red wolves. Same wolves that made up the Vorbert's crest. It should go without saying, then, that how much these people loved these dogs. The symbol of their city, their peace, their protection. Guardians of the lambs. And as a reminder, when we get to the question section, I'm gonna head over to try and doodle this lad. Powerful beasts even then. Plenty of wild wolves yet lived, and the bears were just as hungry then as they are now. It was the crocoda, with their heavy collars lined with spines, that would fight them off. Learned how to go for the throat, and learned how to thrust their halo of spikes to protect their own. The blood of wolves blending into their hides. They got like a... It's weird because they're slouched, so like their back legs almost look longer than their front legs. Like a hyena. Oh no, hyenas are opposite. The front legs are longer than the back. They reminded me of a chupacabra. So it used to be. The elves of Lakeland never forgave Vobar for invading and taking over land that was once theirs to rule. With the kingdom's crest sprang wolves so proudly on its face, it's no coincidence that the Shadow Keeper's most loyal took lupin form. I honestly don't know a lot about the history of Il Mheg. I should, but it goes, whew, too much information. My brain can only fit so much. The crocoda didn't escape untouched. They were wolves once after all. What better to break the spirit of the enemy than to take what protected them and turn it? So she came here and she turned them. But the pixies remember. The hounds that protected the sheep and kept warm the winter lambs. They won't hurt what they love. Ah, that's why they didn't do anything to them. I'm gonna draw like a puppy version. But not until I ask my question. Can they glow different colors? Anyway. I'd ask you to forgive the grim tale, but you knew well enough what you were getting into, coming to a place like this. Any questions? I have a question! I'll put it in the main chat. Oh no, I still made a typo. Dang it! I tried so hard not to make a typo. Sometimes your brain likes to go fast. Yesu, I'm trying to like, if this was in character and Yesu was actually saying that, I look colors. Yesu, you okay? You good? Asterisk. Glow. Do you feel bad for them for the fate that was brought into them? Getting personal. Stop! That's not what I wanted. There we go. I want the answer to my question and then we'll move over to the screen. I know perhaps my question was tone deaf, but at least I didn't ask if I could eat it. Alright, while I'm waiting to answer the question, I'm gonna boogie over to the computer. Boogieing is complete, and I see that they are RGB. Most of them come in blue, though they're not entirely universal. A bit of variation here and there in the pelt and glow. Black across the board, but some seem to have reacted over time to different aether. Pale always from the light, but reds, greens here and there, you'll see them. Yes! RGB! I'm gonna draw the glowy critters. Let's see, I need... Where's my window capture clip? Hello! Ooh. There we go. Let's draw a critter. I can't see them very well because my window's in the way. But I'm gonna draw it looking cute. I'm gonna draw a chibi version. Because that's what my heart says. I need a different pen. I need a thick pen. Thick. There we go. Too thick. Where are my thick pens? Hello? There we go. Ah, there we go. They're more roundish. Their teeth is just the bottom that are big. I can't tell, his head is moving too much. I don't know. Of course I do. The War of Shadows was a war waged to draw out 5 people, and the hounds were just hounds. Animals can't understand a war. They just know what it's like to be hurt by one. Oh, that's sad. Alright, bird. They have like little spikies. There, okay. If he says fun things, let me know. There were a few of the dogs I knew well enough. Can't say if they're still around. And to be blunt, I don't know. I don't want to find out. Doesn't matter now. They're done. What's done is done. I knew them once. Aw. It's getting sad in this Chili's tonight. I think I need to draw. They're like really long boys. Like their claws. So big. I need to draw one of them like having a rave. It'd be really cute if they like turned colors based on their mood. What's the tail look like? I'm gonna cover up me for just a second. Pixies have tried enough. I'm assuming someone asked if they've tried to fix them. The new Mheg too, but the hounds are aren't high priority on the list of things to save. If the wargs in Lakeland can't be saved, then there isn't much hope for these ones. Still, they found surviving breeds of Amaro thought lost. I got big feet. Bye, Bio. Thank you for stopping by. Oh, is it raining? Ooh, now I get to see them all glowy, though. Let's see. There could be a few stragglers, ones who left the mix of the wolves. If the pixies are willing, it's not beyond belief. At least a few threads could be found. Bring them back. There it is, a good boy. Which teeth? The bottom teeth? Yeah. It's got good taste. Like I said, black and blue, always a good color combination. Look, he's so cute. He just wants to be your friend. That's a good boy. What else does he have? Is that just his feet? Yeah, I think that's just his feet. He has like these kind of rune-like things on his feet. Certified cutie. There we have it. A very fast, very crude crocotta. Alright, let's move on. I don't know if this beast is capable of finding peace, but it'll be happier without us here. Huh, don't worry. The next beast will lighten the mood. Alright. Frog, frog, frog. Let's see if there's gonna be a frog. I gotta move back over. Alright, moving complete. Oh god. Oh god. Oh god. Bears every man for themselves. I gotta keep up, I'm sorry. Oh, that was fast. A rabbit? What? Oh my gosh! It's so cute! I love it! Oh my gosh, here, this is the fellow we're here to see. Terrible little thing, isn't it? This is a rabbit's tail, and it's an enigma and a beast if there ever was one. It's so cute! Oh, it's so fluffy. I'm gonna see what people are saying. Huggable. Little guy hours. Oh my gosh. This is much better than Fungus. Oh my goodness. I can't see, it's so dark, but it's really cute. Friend-shaped. Friend-shaped indeed. Oh, it's so fluffy. It's like a little old man. Looking at the thing, it certainly plays the part of a beastkin well enough. It's got fur, skin, those giant, uncomfortable eyes. They eat and nibble on grass with one little buck tooth hidden at the bottom of their skulls. It even bleeds if you can get past all the fur. Kill one and you've got a corpse that you can harvest just like any other beast. Why would you kill it? It's a friend. Tall rabbits, man. Okay. Looks like Heimerdinger from League of Legends. Problem being that the little guys are elementals. I don't know who all recalls the Gen from Ratika, but this lot was more in common with those than rabbits. Hard to believe until you spend time out here. Wait for a day when the wind blows strong enough through the mountains and you'll see them spin out of the grass, born out of nothing. That's cute. Oh my gosh, they're like jump love. I'm just imagining like a group of them just like floating in the sky, being carried by the wind, like Hoppip. Elemental or not, they fit in well enough. Used to be you'd find them in different colors each season. Oh, that's cute! Cotton candy! Couldn't say if this was for camouflage or just part of their nature. But as far as I can tell, it was based on what the wind picked up. Grass leaves, snow in the winter. If they liked living further south, I'm sure they'd come in a fetching pink. I will do it! I will make them a fetching pink! I will. I swear to you, we will draw the puffballs next. In fact, I'm gonna move over right now and get myself back into position. Alright, it's little guy fluffball time. There's so much on the screen, I apologize here. I'm gonna get rid of the sub-goal. I'm not gonna meet sub-goals anyway. Okay. Move, cute dog. That's a good boy. He don't bite. Yeah, he do. Yeah, that one's definitely the definition of he don't bite. Yeah, he do. Of course, it's spring now, and the pixies will make sure enough of that for the rest of the time they haunt these hills. So the rabbits' tails are green as fresh grass, and green they'll stay. Okay, I'm gonna paint. I'm gonna do a thing. I'm gonna paint instead of what I normally do. We'll see how it goes. Works well enough for them, keeps them safe. There's Not much meat on the bones of a beast like this, but the fur is tempting for lining nests, and this lot is squeezed between two kinds of giant nesting bird, not to mention those deafening lorikeets back to the west. The little ones you don't see much where the tails roam. The little fellows gust them away. Air elementals, after all. We're just gonna draw them floating in the wind, lots of different colors. Oh well, except for the tautavus flapping about. Big birds like that can't be kept away entirely, but they're no fools. Learn that if they just picked the fur off a rabbit's tail instead of killing them for the hides, they wouldn't get blown about. Now and then, if you watched long enough, you'd see Avis toddle over to sleeping tails and start gently preening them in their sleep. Bow. Bow. We love symbiotic relationships. Okay. What brush to use is the question. Something fluffier. Oh, that's good. I like this brush. I like that they got like cute little ears. Bit of an uneasy alliance these days. Aether poisoning making the tails more aggressive than flighty. They were famously shy before. Hunters from Verbert would keep little bundles of their fur in their bows for luck. Randa always said it helped an arrow fly true. And the blankets, you never felt so soft until you felt a blanket woven from their fur. Anyway, nothing these frightened little fellows need to worry about these days. Any questions? I have no questions. Only fluff. Or there are little eyeballs. Oh, were they never domesticated? That is a good question. They should have been domesticated. Though, I mean, I guess it would be hard because they're elementals. I don't know how to make more of them. I'm sorry, I haven't really had a lot of, like, zoology things to say on the last two. The last two are a little more fantastical. Where's my brush? There it is. He hasn't responded about the domestication yet. I'm gonna make it happy. There are plenty of attempts. Ever tried to tame the wind? They're fickle, slippery things. They're worryingly tiny under the fur and can escape just about any bonds. They don't do well under stress. Makes them drive themselves mad, tearing their fur out and panicking. Too shy a beast for anything but the wild. Just like me for real. Just like me for real, for real. I feel that. Hashtag relatable. That is a relatable bun. Where's the eyeball? There it is. There they go, floating in the wind. Woohoo. I'm gonna draw some pink ones like really, really far out. Aw, yeah, no worries. That's why I'm here. I try and have it available to read, but I do my dramatic readings as well. Right now there's just a lot of role-playing going on. I don't need to read out the role-play. How are you, Mia? Hopefully getting some rest after last week. You were part of the derby, right? Does it have beans? That's a very important question. Toe beans. Answer the toe beans. It does have limbs and tiny little legs. Very little. Hidden completely under all that fluff. But no paw pads if that's what you mean. Those pads tend to be used to soften the footsteps of a predator. These little fellows just chew grass. They can have beans. What if I make them have beans? I'm gonna draw the little legs. Little legs, little legs. There are the little legs. There's a little leg. There's a little... there's a little leg. There's a little leg. It's hard. You know what? You know what? Hold on. Maybe they're like owls. You know how owls, like they're really fluffy, but they, have really, really long legs underneath. I am imagining... the fluff. But they have like really, really long legs. Tiny feet. Like when they remove all the fluff, they just got tiny little feet. Headcanon accepted. When it gets windy enough, they can get picked up and whisked away like little tumbleweeds, as they should. There we go. Long. I know you all can't really see it very well. He long. Oh, okay. I'm glad that you're good. I feel you for the tiredness though. It was a busy week for me too. I did like 1 or 2 ocean fishings, not a whole lot. Alright, well there's Long. We're gonna see if we can't look at the hashtag. Some good ones so far. All right, let me get this going. We're gonna downsize it a little bit. There we go. Okay, let's see. So we've got this one's odd. Got no notes. That's pretty great. Where is me? Let me put it behind me. Where am I? Rose Bear. Pretty name, not a pretty history. Puppy. It is a puppy. Oh, look at them all! So cute. Oh, I like that they're drawing Artbert with them. That's cute. I like that. Cute. Alright, we got one last stop. I won't beat around the bush. We all know exactly where we're going next. But it's the best one yet. Is it beaver time? Hold on. We gotta go. Alright, boogie time. Let's boogie. Alright, let me here. I will get. There's my sexy tractor. Hop on, bears. Okay. Move the table a little bit. Okay. Vroom, vroom. Beaver time. Beaver time. Oh no, Amaros! Are we gonna talk about the Amaros? Of course we are. Of course he'd bring us here. Yeah! Aw, Seto! Seto. There he is! What a good boy! Yay! Where's my emotes? Yay! Seto! Crying IRL. Oh. It's a very special Amaro friend. This one I will draw. I can't fathom I'll need to introduce these marvelous fellows. You all know about Amaro already. Ah, but for formality's sake, this is Seto. He's a good friend. Cute, cute, cute. Oh, Seto, do you know how dearly you are loved? I bet he does. I bet he does know. I bet he know. Weeps in sorrow. Aww. Hi, you can pet him if he's feeling amenable. Old fellow would probably appreciate it. There's a spot right in front of the joints of his wings that always seem to have an itch needing scratching. Wah! There we go. I moved back over to the computer so I could doodle more. I need to doodle this friend. I will actually try with this one. The other ones have just been kind of sketching. Yay, match petting. I will cover me up. You don't need to see me. You need to see him. Amaro. I don't know where to start. They're a staple of life, originated back in Ronco, and the people there took flightless, wingless commas and bred them into the beasts we know today. Dewy-eyed, hardy, the same dusty green as the jungles they call home. Are they green? I mean, I guess. I always thought they were gray. He's a good boy. Is there... I guess they are kind of like camel-like. want to zoom in on him, but I can't. Ooh, long. Won't come as much of a surprise when the Ronkins adored the beast. Loved them so deeply they gave them the gift they could offer and planted in their minds a seed of magic. Given time to bloom, the Amaro could awaken into Tapok Amaro with an intelligence that likes of you and I and the speech to prove it. So many hugs. Of course, back then it was every Amaro that would lean. It was every Amaro that would learn to talk. And powerful as Ronkin magic is, the fall of their kingdom meant that seeds started to wither. Only someone in 100 or so Amaro are Tapak these days, and with it taking some 70 or more years for those skills to emerge, there's not much chance that Amaro's first companion will ever hear their voice. That's sad. So fluffy! So fluffy! They got cute little fluffy ears. They're just fluff. Those that do, well, there's only so many best friends a creature made to love and be loved can lose. There's something special about them. Suppose it's part of what they were made to be, Ronka's perfect companions. But a bond with an Amaro isn't like any other. Sniff, sniff. He speaks from personal experience. Felt it some years after picking Seto up off the ground. Took him a while to trust me, poor fellow. Can't blame the thing. After all he'd been through, some little separation breaks down, and then they're just there. Like a hand on your shoulder. Amaro sees souls just a bit. Enough to know yours. It's funny, they learn to speak, but by that time you've been talking to them for a long time. Daw. A dog? What is a dog? Wait, do they have a big... What's that on the back of their head? Do they have like a... Hold on. Is there like a backwards thing on his head? I don't own the Amaro mount. looks like it. Oh, you'll never forget something like that. The way you stop being two creatures, it's funny. They're just big oafish birds. A bite so strong, they regularly take off your hands. Temper that'll make you... Ah! Kicks that collapse lungs, and the gentlest hearts, the poor guys. Ranka made them to be loved. They don't understand being hurt in return. Ball. Cute. But to a poacher, they're beasts. They don't know the difference between an Amaro that's learned love and one that's learned fear. They know they're hurting for money, and Amaro tongues are one of the world's most wicked cure-all tricks to be sold. They always die, the poached ones, every time. Oh, that's sad. It's like rhino horns. Because obviously, like horns are just keratin, like compressed, but they unfortunately have a reputation of, again, being cure-alls, so they will hunt them and not very kindly dehorn them, and then you've got just the rhino left. Yeah. But there are some organizations that are out there that are trying to like curb the poaching. A way to do it is a lot of times they'll dye the horns different colors because they want it for that purity, and so obviously dyeing it can affect that. They do that with elephant tusks too. The Amaros that love too many times to lose with some hundreds of years of life behind them. Should have mentioned, it isn't rare to meet a beast 300 years old, especially not out here. This is where they came to Wolkeldorf. Nestled in among the ruins of man to live out the rest of their years, grieving souls once part of their own. Aww. But yeah, there are organizations that are helping to stop that. Because a lot of times, like with the elephant tusks, they just want the pure ivory. And so if it's pink, then it's not going to really sell. And so it loses its value. But I think the biggest thing is just finding other means of income and encouraging people to understand that, like, it's literally just fingernails on their nose. Please stop. It doesn't cure anything, I promise. Be gentle with them. They've written the histories of this world in their hearts. Any questions? I'm sure there are many questions. It's gonna get personal, probably. Fluffy, not the question. But I'll accept it. completely forgot about that weird horn thing. No one's got questions. We're too busy admiring him. How are they in the rainstorms? Does water bother them much? Quill again with the good questions. There we go. Fluffy, fluffy boy. No responses yet. Pink. He hasn't responded about the rain. There we go. Depends on the bird, for the most part. They're individuals through and through, but for the most part they'll hunker down and hide their heads and let the storm pass, or find some shelter. But water they can control, that's a different story. They love baths, spreading out their wings and dangling drapes to bask like big lumps of algae. Just like now I want to draw a wet tomorrow. Hold on. I gotta draw a big wet. Because they look so fluffy. Like it looks more like fur than feathers. Hold on. Uh-oh. My pen is acting weird. Wet bird. Wet bird. He's so fluffy. feet look like? Just feet. That's what they look like. That's what they look like after a bath. Gotta add the wet. Hold on. Wet brush would be good for this. I don't even know. Not that I've ever seen. To be quite frank, I don't know what went wrong with Seto. Your average, oh, how big he is, yeah. Your average Amaro will be less than half his size, even though the big ones are dwarved. He was a big fellow even then. I can't imagine that's why his previous owner used him for freight. But he's doubled since then. Wet bird. He's so cute. I didn't expect it to be this cute. Oh, I like someone said he's totally big because he's full of love. It's true. He loved Ardbert. He waited many years for Ardbert. They bonded by soul. There you go. I didn't know I needed Wetamaro, but I needed Wetamaro. I think this is my favorite thing that I've drawn tonight. Let's see, they're supposed to eat greens, vegetables. If you find ones that aren't too starchy, release one in a garden and you'll have a whole lot of turned up dirt and a whole lot less food. They're big fans of apples. Shouldn't have that many with all that sugar, but they'll love you for it. They're just a big horse. They're a big shaggy bird horse. Why you gotta make me sad? Hee. Nice. What a collection of critters we have, ignoring the fungus and bugs. Alright, so that being said, let's take a look at some of the doodles. Alright. Let's refresh this page. Ooh, some good ones. Stop. So we've got, hold on. We've got a very nice rose bear. There's our killer bee friend, Fungus. That's a nice shine on the fungus, actually. Oh, there it is! Spiky friend! Oh, look at his eyes! I love the shading. That's really nice. And a mawo. Oh, see, I love when people do it like this, where it looks like a nature painting, I guess you could say. I always really like that. More Il Mheg friends. Look at that! Wow. Oh, I love the shading on this, like the texture. That is really nice. Oh, so fuzzy. What are you? Stop being here. Gonna freaking block you. Yes. Okay. Oh, what a good boy. I like everybody's interpretation of the rabbit's tail. A bear of rose. This one I like. This one I was looking at before, like before we had to stop. Aardbird. I like the tiny aardbird next to all of them. Very good, very good. Hey, look! Oh, hey, look! I know this person! Look, I will say, Mia, this crowd is intense. Look, that's me! Leo DiCaprio. I point at the screen. There's me. There's Yesu. I avoided this place for a long time, not for the rest of Il Mheg, but this place. There gets to be a point where it's no use to, well, the point is a bit now and then. It sleeps a lot at his age. Plenty of time to talk to an old sleeping bird. I know! I love that there's so many people. This is definitely the most attended one, I think, yet. Oh, those are nice screen caps. Beautiful. Wow, that's a nice computer. Oh. Cute. There's me. I'm there again. Yes, she's everywhere. She's famous. Fungus. There he is, the goalie boy. Lots of screen caps this time. Yeah, not a lot of art so far. Alright, it's not much to say. He saw most of it. Don't much want him to know the rest, even if he could, but it's nice seeing him rest. What else we got? Oh, here we go. More doodles. Ooh, what's he got in his mouth? Sketchy, sketchy. I like this like charcoal look. It's nice. Lots of people drawing the rabbit's tail. Okay, well, that seems to be it for now. Fungus. They're cute though. Alright. I'm gonna hop back over because I have a feeling we'll be done pretty soon. It's already 10:53. All right, I'm back. But no, yeah, it's been nice, like, cause this is my the fourth one. I don't know. I've been doing it since I found out about it, which I'm really sad that I didn't find out about it sooner. But it's been really cool to see it grow, you know, every single time. Because as more people learn about it, as people see how cool it is, you know, it's just really fun, especially all the art. We'll probably, after it's over, because I think people will post then, we might look through the hashtag again and see if there's more cool doodles. Did you end up finishing some of your landscape all roads? What a good boy. Oh, he's got 2 horns. Oh. I will have to fix that on my wet Amaro doodle. He has horns. I didn't see that before. Oh, you drew Artbird? Yeah, I'm hoping a lot of people draw Artbird with Seto. Ooh, what's Seto's favorite treat in particular? Ebony asking the good question. Do they raise their own young ever? Especially if they begin to speak already. I want to ask, do they shed? They are a bird, so maybe they molt instead. I love all the little Amaros around them. I don't have one. I suck at being melee classes. I just need to buy the All Roads to 80. That's how I get around that, is I buy all the books for the classes I don't have. There was this one kind of cabbage that grew in Calusia on the islands. Used to grow them with my grandfather for the Amaro back then. Don't know what it was about those things, but when I met him, I found some for him. Never could get enough of them after that. If there was ever a chance he'd take off my hand, it was for those. I mean, valid. Cabbage is good. I wish I could angle it better. Eh. There. I like the little mouths. With the, like, teeth made, like, just the mouth forms the outside teeth. Oh, I also want to know, did the back horns serve a purpose? But I don't know if we have time for that question. They seem like they would be good. So like antelope and other animals like that, a lot of predators will try to jump on their backs, or, you know, if they don't go for the jugular, like in the neck. And a lot of times having those scimitar-shaped horns in the back help to like stab and get the predator off their back. So maybe that's why. They do raise their own eye. It's a funny thing about Amaro's speech. It's only necessary to talk to other speaking sorts, but for talking to one another, they've always been able to do that just fine. It was always a big help having a tupac around to speak for the flock, but never necessary for talking to their young. Speaking of young, the baby. So tiny. Oh my gosh. Oh, hey! Someone asked my question! The spikes on the back of its head, are they horns? If they are, has there been documentation of variation on them? Are they always the same? I'm a small bit curious if they use them for affectionate gestures as well, if they've ever noticed. Gently knocking horns together against something seems to be a common affectionate trait between horn animals. And aura! That's how aura kiss. They rub their horns. I'm sure with the size it could be quite an intimidating gesture, but they seem kind and gentle enough from what I've heard and not knocking anyone down, especially Set. Yes. Cool, Ariane. I'm glad someone asked my question. Thank you. Okay, a check. It's too late for me to pronounce that name. Edagals. They molt a few times as they grow, slows down when they get big, molt in patches over the seasons, but it's always a sight. There's no beauty to a bald Amaro. Ha, they know it. Snappy, irritable beast. Bald Amaro! I would draw, but I'm now seated over at the PlayStation. I am not by the computer anymore. I'm just imagining, like, Artbird going to clean out the barn and there's just like patches of fluff and feathers everywhere. And Seto's in the back like, don't look at me. You're still just as adorable, friend. It's interesting that they saved Set for last, because we're definitely gonna. We're already past 11 o'clock. People have too many questions. Those horns. Those are horns. Keeps their neck safe from predators where the spine attached to the skull. Yes! They used to vary some great deal when different breeds of Amaro flourished in the or other regions at the first. Those straight ones are most true to the old breeds, but you'll find curled ones or those fancy little spirals. Ooh! Curly Q Amaros! So many, breeds of Amaro. I want to see different breeds. But it makes sense. You know, I mean, if they're basically just domestic mount animals. they're just ride like whatamodoodles. What are they called? My brain doesn't work right now. They're basically just like things that you can ride. Pack animals, maybe. It would make sense that they would breed different varieties. Imagine like really curly, fluffy ones, like poodle Amaros. Or different colors. Piebald! Piebald Amaros. A lot of times the domestication process, so there was a really cool study that was done a while back in Russia. Well, cool is subjective, but it was a very interesting study. So there are these silver foxes that originally were being bred for fur farms, but when the fur farms were shut down, they had all these foxes that had nowhere to go. So what they actually did was they raised the foxes and only bred foxes that were more friendly to people, and had more positive, like just in general less aggressive towards humans and interactions. And over like I think like 5 or 6 generations, they basically had a dog. Like it was crazy. Like just breeding for those positive, friendly traits. They started to see floppy ears. They saw a lot of behavioral changes like wagging tails. They saw piebald, which is when you get that white coloration to the face. And it was just really cool to see like the domestication process and how regardless of the animal, it's kind of these similar traits will be picked up. And it's probably because it's attached to whatever gene makes them more affectionate. I don't know, like maybe it's an inbreeding thing too, but it's just interesting to see. So I'm just imagining a piebald Amaro. As for affection, often Amaro are gentle sorts, not fully respectful of their own strength, but gentle, loving things. An Amaro rubbing its horns on you is a sure sign you've got a friend for life, an extension of trust for them to let you touch their horns in return. That's why you don't see much for bindings tied to their horns. That's a good point. I was gonna ask, like, they almost look like, you know, if you didn't have reins, you would use the horns as a way to, like, hold on. Reminds me of, Spirited Away. You cool? Best mount ever. That the one that's based on I forgot what it's called, but they're based on this really a lechwe. Yeah, they're based on a lechwe, which is an actual deer goat thing, antelope, I guess. That like he would use his horns. Okay. What was our bird saying? I know I've gotten into the habit of dropping you off somewhere to call things at a close, but if I'm being honest, there's no place I could think of more important than here. There's somewhere you ought to see on your own time, when all's said and done, across the water where Vobert sleeps underneath, to the base of Grunslicht, a lonely little leaf man with a sword laid cold at its base, one of the last of Vobert's nights, preserved in leaves by the pixies, a timeless memorial. You can see it there, the way the pixies have preened it to a pristine perfection, the polish of the sword, the way they've warded this place, infested the bears that would eat their sheep, preserved the homes of the shepherds that loved them. Pixies are children. They don't know how to grieve. Heck, I don't know if anyone does. The emptiness is too heavy to fill with what was left behind, the change too sudden. But there, with the leafmen, here, where the Amaro have filled each empty home, in the hills, where the crocatas snap at throats in hazy memory of protecting their beloved flocks from wolves. Gonna make me sad! Oh, your outfit's cute, bears. I'm sorry, I didn't realize that. I didn't see your outfit till now. You can feel it, how the land aches to speak their names. Choked up Aussie accent. Ah, and there's one other thing. What's the other thing, Ironbird? I don't know what I expected when I started all this. Oh no, a chance to reminisce maybe. Some desperate hope that if enough people saw the land for what it is, it'd bring back some feeling of what it was. Dying noises. Darn me for being stubborn. For trying over and over again to find again in the wreckage and ruin. Like if I tell enough stories, maybe one will take life and bring it all back. It won't. It never will. The stories remain stories. The dead remain dead. And Nordvent remains. Ugh. Same. Just the people in the chat. Mia. So well, I suppose I've got to thank you for all this. Some of you lot have been here ever since the start, walked with me from one end of this world to the other, this tiny, dying, fighting world. I knew deep down that taking a good long look at what's left wouldn't show me what's gone. But I didn't know what I'd see with it. Far less that you'd keep coming back. Exactly. Oh my God. Crying noises. So thank you for walking with me, for seeing this world honestly, for every feral, poisoned beast you've chosen is worth understanding instead of fearing, and for loving them as they are, a world that would never be what it was, but maybe it'll be something new. Yeah! Hand over heart is the correct emoji. I'll see you around, heroes. Yay! Where's my inventory? There it is. Where's my meteor survivor? There it is. Yay! And that's a wrap for the final nature art party until further notice. Thank you guys so much for coming and for being patient with my incredible wordiness in this one. Got really excited. I had a lot to say. Thank you! Yay! As I said before, hashtag Nature Art Party, Takebird on Twitter. Don't spam something. If you want a heads up on future events, that's the best place to start. I don't spam, I promise. Yes, please follow Takebird. Follow Takebird. Follow them for they make beautiful art. Always the posters, they do the art for it, for advertising. They do fun events and they do all this research and make up really cool information in addition to the actual lore of the game. Speaking of future events, there will be a round 2 of nature art parties covering other creatures in each zone. I'll start those up once the encyclopedia comes out, and I need to rewrite all my world building. That's what I was gonna say. I'm excited for the Eorzea encyclopedia. Yeah! And thank you all for coming to the stream. You know, this is my 3rd or 4th one that I've done of these. And I really appreciate the support, you know, even if it's just lurking and hanging with me, or, you know, doodling along, you know, just enjoying all that is. So thank you for listening to my rants about bee spit and fungus and sharks, all kinds of stuff, you name it. Oh, I hope everyone has fun at these events. Feel free to hang out as long as you want while I shake off nerves and trove the tag. Yay! I emote at you, I clap. Where's my clap? Yay, clapping! If Squeenix doesn't hire you for their world building department, you're doing it wrong. Agreed. Yay! Well, I hope you all had a wonderful evening. While we hang out, let's check the tag one more time for any fun additional people. Y'all are just coming with me. I'm just gonna move the microphone with me. Anybody have a fave critter from tonight besides Set? Seto. Looking at the tag. Let's see, we got any new ones? Oh, here we go. We do have some new ones. Excuse me. All right. Oh, pretty! The first environmental piece that we see. Oh, gorgeous! Oh my gosh! Wow! That's pretty. That's really pretty. Move this over. Okay. What a nice coloring on Set. Oh, that's so nice. Oh, look at the, I love the glow on this one. Like the inner glow. That's beautiful. Look at birds. All the critters. Oh, it's all the critters. Nice. Oh, look at the bear and bees. Dog. Yeah, the dog was pretty cool. The rabbit's tail was pretty fun. Oh my goodness. Look at this style. Gorgeous. Oh my gosh. Look, I love the coloring. Wow. I'm gonna follow this person when I'm on my other account. So shiny. I do not know them, but I will soon. Oh, oh, beautiful. Yeah, I love seeing everybody's styles. And like I said, I really like when people do it like it's an actual like book, like this, like Fouche. Fouche has been doing it where it's like an actual nature journal, which is really cool. Massive wings. Oh, again. So pretty. Man, I love this coloring. It's so nice. Well, let me move this up here. I need to finish wet Seto because there are horns and I did not know there were horns. Like I said, I think this is still my favorite. It just looks so cute. Good job, me. I can't wait to see your work as well. I know, I love this. Did you already post yours, all roads? Because I would love to show it off. Nice, nice. I think I'm gonna make wet set a little bigger. funny. It's just so hard when I don't. Okay, I was like, it's so hard when I don't label my layers. There we go. It needed to be darker. All right. I think that's it for me. I just liked the long boys. The long boys were fun. You posted? Nice. Yeah, it's always fun. And thank you, Bears, for being interested in coming along and riding on my tractor. Ooh, oh, there's some good ones now. People be posting all the things. Let's see. There we go. Ah, gorgeous. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Thank you. I like fluffy things. Oh, man. Look at those colors. Oh, look at that shading. I love it. This person. How do you only have 154 followers? Fix that. These 6 people that are here, fix that. Yeah, that's what I was saying. I love that shading and the coloration. So nice, so nice. I will follow you when I get the chance. Ooh. I love the brush choice. Aw, good boy. That's you. It's so nice. He threw him a bone. I like the choice in brush. Like the texture is really nice. Pretty, pretty. Yeah, I know. I mean, he's just a puppy. He's just a puppy that will rip your flesh. It's fine. He's a good boy. Alright. That looks like it's it for now. But yeah, lovely, lovely. Well, thank you again all for sharing. Where's my thing? There it is. Again, please follow Teakbird if you have not already. They're the ones that are Ardbert, and they organize this party every single time. Do a wonderful job. Can't wait for next year for more